Guns. Some people love them, some people hate them. I haven't talked about them in a while, so we're going to fix that today right after we check out this video from my man Colion Noir. So I'll give my full thoughts on the back end. Let's get it poppin'.
So this one video you're about to watch is a prime example of why I'm against a high capacity magazine ban, semi-automatic rifle ban, and gun storage laws.
This is a shocking surveillance video of 3 armed men attempting to break into a home in Auburn. But what they were met with was gunfire from the homeowner after the men kicked the front door open and the suspects started running as they heard the shots.
Get 'em!
A man and woman lived inside the home, and while they did not want to go on camera, they did show us the damage left behind. They tell us the 3 men started shooting at their home as they were trying to escape and knocked down some of the fencing as they got away. The homeowner said she believes it was over 20 gunshots aimed towards the house. They add that they're grateful no one was hurt, but wonder what could have happened if they didn't protect themselves. Neighbors are still in shock that this happened in an area they say is secluded. Auburn police said it's alarming the suspects pretended to be officers as a way to get into their home.
8 seconds. That's how long it took for these fools to kick in the door. So if I'm at home in a deep sleep and I don't realize someone is trying to kick in my door after kicking Hulk smash number 3, that means I have all of 4 seconds to get to my gun and position myself to defend myself against 3 Pillsbury dumb boys and Walmart brand Pooh Shiesty masks. This is why I am against safe storage laws. Sure, safe storage laws sound good on paper, and I get it. You want to make sure you can keep guns out of the reach of young people, but I am against them because it makes it mandatory for you to basically make your gun inoperable and can't be readily used whenever you really need it. You should leave that up to the people and their decision in their own home about how they want to safely store their firearms, not dictate that it has to be disassembled or taken apart, because at that point it makes the gun useless. And as far as I'm concerned, safe storage laws are a self-defense liability. Even with biometric quick access safes that I sell on my website that are incredibly fast and incredibly good, those take 1 to 2 seconds to get to your gun. And when you only have 4 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds is an eternity.
At least.
Now imagine you get to your gun and you only have 8 rounds in it because Joe Biden said you can't have more than 8 rounds in your gun. But the bunch of goofies currently trying to kick in your door all have guns, and none of them are limited to 8 rounds. Do you think a magazine capacity law that tells you you can only have 8 rounds in your gun when you have 3 bozos at your door with more than 8 rounds in their gun is helping or hurting you in that situation? I said it before and I'll say it again. I wish I had less rounds. Said no one ever who's been in a gunfight. Then there's the fact that there were 3 guys trying to break into this house. If right now someone handed you a letter saying 3 bimbo dumbasses were gonna come and home invade you tomorrow, which gun would you want for protection? A handgun or an AR-15?
The biggest
Just
one.
like magazine capacity. No one says, give me the least best gun to use to defend myself if you know you're about to get into a gunfight. You only get 1 life. Give me the best gun to defend it. This is why AR-15s are the #1 selling rifle in the country. I don't want to face 3 dudes with handguns with my 1 self and 1 handgun with only 8 rounds. I want the gunfight to be so unfair in my favor that the guys trying to break into my house run away screaming how I'm cheating and not playing fair because I use an AR-15 with a 100-round drum. If the bad guys are not gonna be limited in what they can use to attack me, I shouldn't be limited in what I can use to defend myself. I was just minding my business trying to get the 2 hours of actual REM sleep I struggle to get when these buffoons attack me. Yet all the gun control laws are making it harder on me to protect myself against the people attacking me. So how do people not understand this basic logic of unintended consequences that come with gun control laws is beyond me. That said, if you carry a gun for self-defense, if you keep a gun in your home for self-defense, or have any weapon you use for self-defense, I'm gonna give you some advice to get some type of self-defense insurance, because in your mind, you think you're completely justified, but there could be some aggressive DAs out there who hate the idea of people owning guns and will try to drag you through the court system just to make an example out of you. And even if you don't go to the criminal court, if one of these dudes had died, one of their naive family members might try to sue you in civil court. Trust me, That is not something you want to go through alone, and it's going to be expensive, which is why I work with USCCA. With USCCA, your membership not only gives you access to concealed carry insurance, it also gives you access to a wealth of other resources to make you a better firearm owner. So if you're interested in learning more about a USCCA membership, I'm going to put a link in the description section of this video. And also, you see this hat I'm wearing? You see this I'm the Militia hat? This hat was designed to remind people, to let them know that when the Second Amendment was talking about militia, it was talking about you, the people. And you see how it has the patch on here? I love this, it's great. But we just started making the embroidered version of this hat as well. So if you're interested in getting the I'm the Militia hat, or even the shirt that I'm wearing right now, I'm gonna put a link in the description section to shop.Mr. Colion Noir, where you can get your I'm the Militia embroidered hat, the patch hat, and even this shirt that I'm wearing. Oh, and don't forget, share this video so people can see these type of self-defense shootings and understand that people actually do defend themselves with firearms. And to make sure that it propagates itself well in the algorithms, make sure you push the like button, leave a comment telling me what you think about this video, and share it. And also hit the subscribe button.
That's gooder than chicken right there, y'all. 100% spot on. And I can't respect and appreciate people like Colion enough. Like, there's so much common sense just oozing through his pores. And it's rare because we got a world that's been flooded with nothing but ignorance, it seems like. And it's very sad, but I love it when sanity and level-headedness still make an appearance. And that's what this dude brings to the table. He is awesome. And make sure you definitely go subscribe to his channel. Show him some love if you haven't already. It's linked down below in the description section, because the stuff that he's speaking on are nothing but gems and real talk. And then you got those other people, the ones that are on the complete polar opposite end of the spectrum. People like Grandpa Joe, our clueless leader that's in the White House, that I actually have to give him some credit. I give props when they're due. He gave us the best solution to all of these potential break-ins in scenarios where we have to self-defend and protect our loved ones. Just load us up with 100 rounds in the chamber and let us send these people to meet their maker.
Who in God's name needs a weapon with 100 rounds in a chamber? The weapon's only meant for one thing: to kill people.
Now that I think about it, after listening to Biden's speeches and witnessing that level of foolishness time and time again, it actually makes me think I need thousands of rounds in the chamber just to be safe, just as an extra precautionary measure. Because could you imagine if that man in the video defending his family and his household, could you imagine if he had a bolt action gun or something like a Winchester trench gun? He'd either be dead or he'd probably actually end up getting sued for turning 3 thugs into ground beef. We the people, we need those trigger finger options readily available. And if you're a law-abiding citizen, you shouldn't have to justify anything. You shouldn't have to go beyond the point of pointing out that it's your Second Amendment right, God-given, going back to when our founding fathers sculpted those documents based on a biblical foundation. That's what it is. Like, bad guys are always going to find a way to get access to weapons and do bad things. That should be common sense. So people need to wake up, smell the roses, because that's how things really are here on earth. And let's be honest, fellas, if you're the head of your household and you're a real man and you care about the people and the things that you've been blessed with, you stay locked, cocked, and ready to rock just in case you ever have to defend those things. And it's not one of those, I want to murder somebody. You're not actually murdering somebody. You're killing in self-defense. And if somebody comes into my house and they got kids, I can promise you somebody else is going to be raising their kids, because they will never see the light of day ever again. That's a promise. And I don't say that to gloat. I don't say that to glorify the situation. That just is what it is. So I don't want to even have to think about dealing with some biometrics or anything along those lines, any of those safety measures, because finger recognition on phones barely works half the time. So why in the world would I want to use that sort of technology for emergency response equipment? No, thank you. I'm not getting down with it. And you can choose to storm away, but I think you need to instead, if you have kids, teach them proper education as far as how to handle a firearm, or teach them about proper use and anger control and emotional regulation, and your child will be set for success for the rest of their life. You got to teach them from a young age what these things are, and that these weapons can hurt people if not used with responsible action. actions. And that just is really that simple. I'm not going to go above and beyond to hide my gun across the house in some ceiling or attic or wherever it may be, to where when somebody tries to Ray Lewis hit stick the door, come into my house, they're not there to have a piece of cake. They're not there to, confirm their Christmas list and, if I got this down and that down. No. They're there to do evil. So I'm there to combat that evil and neutralize it. And then you got these aliens living among us, illegal ones that, just strolled right in across the border, unscathed, anything like that. And then the legal ones who make these anti-constitutional laws, but at the same time, they live inside these nice knitted, gated communities, armed to the teeth with security right outside their door. But yet they tell us, we the people who gave them that position of power, who casted those ballots, people that were dead and alive, I guess, even though God instituted these governments, but still, we got them telling us that we don't need guns. And then they complain and whine and cry 24/7 about bad assault rifles and how bad those are and weapons of mass destruction. Oh, you mean the AR-15, which stands for Armalite rifle, not assault. That same home defense weapon that 5 guards outside of your home, that they have that same weapon they possess, but they don't want us to have that God-given right. And that's because the government doesn't want you or I to have any advantage whatsoever to be able to defend ourselves, especially if it means we have to defend ourselves from them if push comes to shove. That tyrannical government aspect, that's possible, especially in this day and age. Do y'all see the things that they're involved in, the corruption, all around sin that they lean into, that lawlessness? I wouldn't be surprised if we have to clap back at the government someday. So give me all the cheat codes, give me all the 100 round in the chamber, 1,000 round in the magazine, give me all of that. I need all of that, because this current example of a government is the best possible indication of why we need the Second Amendment. They go rogue on a regular basis, so all of us need at least, at the very minimum, one gun. And at this point in the video, I already know the keyboard thugs are going to come out the woodwork, start trolling in the comment section, just looking like straight up goofballs talking about, hey, why don't you just call 911? Let the cops do their jobs. You have no business needing a gun. Really? Are you serious? You got to be kidding me. So what should we do in the meantime while we wait at least 20 minutes for cops to make their way out here to the sticks where I live at? I mean, you want me to put on a pot of coffee and ask them to wait a while before they proceed to harm my wife and take all the things that I've worked for? I'm talking about these criminals, these bad guys or girls that may be at my door or inside of my house already. You want me to just hold that thought? Look, I'm on the phone with Officer Steve. He said he'll be here in maybe 15, 20, 5 minutes at best if you live in town, but I think that's even a stretch. I can promise you, I'm not about to fold up and let anybody abuse me. It's not going down. Like, God's going to judge all of us someday for our actions. So I'll take my chances when it comes to ending someone's life that voluntarily chose to pursue evil and use that free will decision-making ability to go down that wide path of destruction. They're going to meet destruction when they come into my house. And, I'll do whatever it takes to protect innocent lives that God knitted together in a woman's womb. That's my duty as a Christian, as a husband, as a man. I will test my chances, and I think God is still going to let me right into heaven. I still have eternal salvation if I end that person's life that's trying to end mine or my wife's or anybody else's. And please do not confuse and twist what I'm saying here. I think police officers are great. I love that thin blue line, and I greatly appreciate and respect and pray for all men and women that put their life on the line every single day. Those people, I always will stand in their corner, especially in these radicalized times where people try to demonize law enforcement and, say that pigs in a blanket and all of this hot garbage. I don't get down with that whatsoever. I'm in y'all's corner. But when it comes to the safety of me and my house, you got to put it into perspective. Like, I'm going to be a whole lot more efficient and quicker to the trigger when it comes to neutralizing that threat in that circumstance. When the law ain't there, I got to be the law. I pray to God that nobody ever has to use deadly force to defend themselves or somebody else. But the reality is that it may just happen, and it may be you or I that is faced with that scenario. So when evil comes knocking or busting through your door, what are you going to do? Because I'd rather be caught with than without, and the victor instead of the victim in that situation any day of the week. So you better stay strapped. You better keep your prayer game strong. You better first and foremost make sure that you're living righteously with Jesus Christ guiding your steps so that you have eternal salvation in case, you never know how God's going to call you up to heaven from here on earth. So you better be ready. And my goodness, y'all, it's crazy out here in these streets, but keep on praying, keep on pushing forward. And God bless America. But what do y'all think about all this? Do you think some of the points I made were valid that piggybacked on top of Colion's? Or Do you think I'm off the wall crazy? Either way, let me know down in the comments section. Let's keep this conversation rolling. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're not already. Ring that notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. If you like what I'm doing over here and you want to show a little extra love and support, make sure you check out our website down below in the description section. That way you can get awesome shirts like you see me wearing in every single video, made by my beautiful wife. This design is the Isaiah 49 verse 25 one. We've got all different options, sizes, colors, variations that you or someone you know will love. Petite teat, extra small sizes to big and hefty. Make sure you go check those out. Outside of that, you can always donate to the channel by joining the Gibson family here on YouTube or on Patreon or buy me a coffee. All those links are down below as always. By no means do you have to do any of that. Just showing up and listening to my freckle face rant at you for a few minutes. I'm greatly appreciative. I love y'all. I'll be praying for you. Until next time, Godspeed. I'm gone.